Welcome back. We are creating our $10,000 course inside of Kajabi in this video series. Now we are finally launching into building our actual course. So we spent a lot of time figuring out if we have a profitable idea and validating that idea. Then we built out our lead magnet and our email list and started to build that audience that we want to launch to. We've been doing 2 weeks of our value blitz of 10 pieces of content, 10 minutes each for 10 days. And now we are going to actually create and sell our product. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get paid to create your first course with Kajabi. Before we dive into the meat and potatoes of this video, I want you to go and download the companion guide to this entire series. Just go to brazenest.com/kickstart, and it's going to help you walk through all the stages of what we've covered in every video to this point to make sure that you're on the right track and you're actually getting some stuff done. Okay, so go download that. It's completely free and it'll help you walk through each of the videos in this series. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Brooke Roberts. I'm the founder of brazenest.com, where we're all about helping you work less, earn more, travel often, and live your version of a brazen, audacious, and badass life. And I'm all about Kajabi. I'm a big fan. I have the blue shirt even to go with Kajabi. So, all right, let's dive into building out your first product and offer with Kajabi and getting it out to sell so you can start making some dollar bills. All right. Now, before we jump into the back end of Kajabi and I show you all the things you need to do to create these things, we first have to narrow down what our first course, our mini course, is going to be about. Now, over the last 10 days or last few weeks probably, you've been creating content and some of it has been really amazing and people have loved it. I'm sure it's all been wonderful, but there's been a few topics I'm sure that have really stood up above the others in terms of popularity. So I want you to go look at all of that content and find the three videos that got the most likes, the most comments, the most views, and it's probably going to be pretty obvious which ones were the most popular, and I want you to narrow it down to the top 3. Then from there, I want you to email your list that you've been creating over time, right? We have this captive audience with email, and I want you to tell them, hey, I know I've been creating a lot of content over the last few weeks, and now I want to create an in-depth, deep dive training for you on one of these topics. Tell me which one of these topics you want me to cover. Now you can make them each clickable so you can see which ones people click. You can wait for people to just send you an email response. I would get them to click something in order to actually get some real data on that, but you can do you. And you can tell Kajabi, like, tell me how many people click these 3 links, and then you can get an idea of what's most popular. But people will also respond to your email and say, hey, I'm really fascinated on X. I would love to see that, okay? You can also share on social media that same idea. You can share a poll on your Instagram stories. You can share it as an Instagram post. You can share it on all the different platforms and say, hey, the same content from your email, you can share it on those other places. And then another way to get this feedback as well is to just go live again. So you've had the people who've likely been watching your live videos, and you can say, hey, I'm thinking about making an in-depth training, just like you said in the email, and I want to know from you which would you recommend, and give them the same options and see if you can get a bunch of data from a bunch of different places so you can start feeling out which is going to be most popular to your existing audience, okay? We want to base this decision on data, not any kind of hunches or what you want to create a course about. Make it about something that people actually want. That's key. You should do this for about a week, sort of keep telling people over and over, in different places in different ways, like, hey, I want your feedback, and see what people are giving you, and then just make a decision, okay? So then the next week, we're gonna launch into the actual launching of this product once you have an idea. But before that, there's a few elements inside of Kajabi that we need to create. So what you're going to create inside of Kajabi in this order. You're going to create what's called the product inside of Kajabi. That's the actual course itself, the container for the course. You're going to create an offer, and that's the thing that people are buying inside of Kajabi. That's the thing that actually says, okay, I'm getting this for my money. That's what we call an offer inside of Kajabi. And then you're going to create a sales page. So you're going to do product, offer, and sales page. Now, the components that you're going to need to think about with your offer, what's included inside of your course, I recommend doing it's a mini course, so I recommend doing 4 to 5 week program. You're going to teach each lesson live, 1 lesson a week. Each of the lessons will be about 45 minutes long, where you're just going to do some heavy teaching about a topic, and then you'll do about 15 minutes of Q&A if people show up live. Sometimes they just won't show up live, which is fine. When you are creating your offer or creating this course, you want to start outlining, okay, what are the 4 to 5 concepts that I want to dive deep on each week of this program. So I put together a little example so you could see what that might entail. So let's go back to our examples from the previous videos. And let's say I did all my videos and I found out that people really want to learn about travel hacking, how they can travel for less or for free by hacking credit cards and loyalty programs and all that crazy fun stuff. So if I were going to create that mini course about it, I'd say, okay, what are like 4 or 5 big umbrella topics that they would need to understand in order to get results? So I'd start with travel hacking for business travelers, right? And so I want to have, what's the result I want them to get? And so let's say, take your family on vacation for free by the end of the year, or something like that. And so you could monetize that and you could say, okay, earn $5,000 worth of free travel in the next 6 months or something like that. So you want to have some kind of big tangible promise or goal, that outcome that you're trying to get people with your course. Then from there, like, what are the topics that would help them achieve that goal? So for instance, in this case, I might want to give them an overview first of the 3 core ways that you can earn free travel in some capacity, and give them an overview of what that should look like, and then how they can set goals and expectations on how they're going to earn that free travel over time. Okay, so it sort of sets the stage. Maybe that's the welcome video or just the first video in the series. Then I would probably want to do a deep dive on just credit card programs and how you can hack credit card reward systems and points and values and all those things. Do an analysis of my top 5 cards within that video. And there's a lot of things you could discuss with credit cards, but a whole thing, 45 minutes, a deep dive on travel hacking with credit card programs. Then the next one would be travel hacking with loyalty programs. So unpacking some of the big ones that they need to be aware of. What are the pros, the cons of each, how they all kind of work together and kind of create an ecosystem together, and sort of help them to define which loyalty programs are going to be the best ones for them. And then maybe the next video or next week I would cover let's see, mistake fares and mileage runs, like understanding some different higher level travel hacking things where you might integrate credit card stuff with loyalty programs and all these other things that exist. You might say, okay, I'm going to deep dive into mistake fares and mileage runs. All right. Then maybe you have a last video or a bonus video that is how to create a travel hacking strategy. So once they know sort of, okay, there's credit card stuff and then there's loyalty programs and there's all these other things, how can I put that all together based on my situation, my life, how I'm earning points, and get the most bang for my buck? And then maybe you also give them a tracking system and show them a spreadsheet on how they can track all these things and monitor all of their hacking that they're doing and acquiring all these points, right? So that's how I would break it down for myself and say, okay, that's the bigger picture. And then within each of those, I'd want to say, okay, what's the benefit of this? So maybe I could, get some cool teaser bullet points that I could say where it's like, I don't know, something like how to get 100,000 points in 1 month with this one credit card, or something like that, where you could say, okay, these are some benefits that I could cover in each of these sections that makes them go, ooh, I need to know what that thing is that she did, or the one loyalty program that helped me travel around the world for free for a year, or something like that, that might really entice people to say, oh, I need to know about that and how she was able to figure that out. Okay, so that's how you're going to break down your course into the core areas and then get some enticing benefits of each of those lessons. So that's sort of the core of what we're going to need to build out the rest of this inside of Kajabi. Okay, so the first thing we want to do inside of Kajabi, I'm here in my dashboard. The first thing we want to do is we want to create a product. Now, a product is basically the course, where the actual content of the course is going to live inside of Kajabi. So we want to go over here to products, and then we want to select new product. Now we just want to create a mini course because again, we're just going to have those 5 core trainings, 4 to 5 core trainings. And so we just want to start here with this mini course. And the cool thing about Kajabi is they're going to build this out all for you. All the lessons are going to be in there. You just have to go in and update the actual content. So I don't need a description, I don't think, but we're going to travel hacking mini course. And you can create a thumbnail, all sorts of fun stuff if you want to for later. Okay, there we go. So now we are inside of the actual product inside of Kajabi. So you can see that they already created a bunch of lessons here. So we can change the titles of all of these, obviously, and then click into each one to update the content. So what I would do is I would say I would have a welcome video, and in this lesson, I would basically put in all the logistics that they should expect. So the when, what time, links to Zoom, etc. So what they can expect. So you can say, okay, each Tuesday over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to go live inside of Zoom at 6 p.m. Central Time, etc. And here's the link to the Zoom room I've created, and it's all inside there. So they know exactly what to expect in sort of the welcome lesson. Then when you save that, you can go back in, and so each of these lessons, so I can change the title again, and I can say lesson 1 is going to be 3 primary tactics to earn thousands in free travel. All right, so maybe that's going to be the first lesson, and you can say, video will be available first week of course. Okay, so in each one of these, you'd want to save it, and you don't have to publish them, or you could just keep it as a draft so they don't even see it. That might actually be the smartest way to go. So then you can come in here, and the only lesson that's visible is the welcome aboard that just has the logistics. And the rest of these you can just make drafts, and then you can publish them each week as you add the recording of the training. So this is good to go for now. Again, we can go in, edit any of the details if you want to change the name, etc. But that's all there is to it. And so once you come inside here, later on when you are ready to add your videos, if I go to lesson 1, then I can, obviously right now there's no media, but then I can upload a video, select a file. I could add an audio file as well if I wanted to. I could add an assessment if I wanted to add a quiz element to it. I can obviously add a thumbnail for this particular lesson. I can make the comments visible, hidden, locked, etc. And I can also add downloads. So if you want to add a workbook or you want to have the slides available after the fact, you can add those here and upload them as well as a PDF. So that's how you're going to create your product inside of Kajabi. So that's the first step, what you need to do inside of Kajabi once you know what your course is going to be. Now that you have your product, the next thing you want to do is create the offer. This is the actual digital thing that they're going to buy and where they're going to submit their payment information. So let me show you what that looks like inside of Kajabi. So you're going to come over here to sales, and we're going to create a new offer. All right, so this we're going to say travel hacking mini course. We're going to call it the beta launch. So alpha launch technically, but we'll call it the beta launch. And then our product, it can drop down. If we had a ton of products, we could select one, but we're going to include the travel hacking mini course in it. And then you want to select your price. So let's say we're going to do $97. And there we go. Now we have an offer and a place for them to actually submit payment. So of course you can come in here and create a lot of different elements, add a description and another title that's more of your internal title, add a thumbnail, you can edit the price, you can limit purchase quantity, all sorts, limit how long they have access, all sorts of fun things. Upsells, downsells, Kajabi does it all, but we're not going to I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm not going to confuse you with all that just yet, but we have the core function of what we want to include. And so in terms of pricing your mini course, typically you're going to want to hover anywhere between $47 and $97. I don't recommend going much lower than that, especially for something that's going to be going on for 4 weeks. If you're in the hobby niche, like this is kind of borderlines on hobby niche. So if you're teaching guitar, that's more hobby, for instance. But if you're teaching people how to grow their career or build a business or make more money, in this case, it is kind of about, saving money and making more money in some capacity. So you could maybe charge a little bit more. But typically for most people, if they're first time out, I would say $47 to $97 is like a good sweet spot. It's also one of those numbers where for a lot of people, they don't have to do a lot of soul searching to make that kind of purchase. It's almost an impulse buy. They're like, oh, it's under $100, I can do that. Whereas when you get into the hundreds, multiple hundreds, thousands of dollar programs, you need much more, I think, advanced strategies to launch something like that. So if you're in the money-making, business, marketing, career niche, something like that, you could probably go to $197 at the top end for something like this, but you're going to be anywhere between $47 and $97 most likely. So we're going to stick with $97 for ours. And then what you'll want to do inside of here, once you have the offer created, is you want to go and edit the checkout. This is the actual page someone will see when they check out. So I won't do it all here, but you'll be able to see how you can update this. So I could update this, add a different banner image. I actually kind of like to remove it most of the time. Then I can click on all of these elements and change them. So this is where you could sort of have a quick and dirty description of what they're getting, and then a bulleted list of a 5-week program where I'm going to cover credit cards and loyalty programs, et cetera, and any other additional information they need to keep that quick and dirty. And then that's where they would enter in their card or PayPal, depending on if you set up both Stripe and PayPal to collect payment. And you can add testimonials, all sorts of things over here on the left that you can see. So you can extra contact information, so you can collect their phone, email or address, etc., if you wanted to make it a little bit more involved checkout process. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like when they try to actually purchase the program. So we have our product created. Now we have our offer where they're actually going to submit payment. I'm going to show that to you real quick, what it's going to look like. So I could have a graphic in here too that makes it a little more pretty, but this is the page they're going to land on to purchase your course. Now let's go back to creating our sales page. That's the next stage in this process. So the cool thing about Kajabi is that you don't have to build anything from scratch ever. So we're going to go back over to website, and then we're going to go to landing pages, and we're going to click new landing page. So they have multiple options here for you to create a sales page. And then if you expand on here, there's even more, a lot of different ones you can choose from. I'm just going to choose this streamlined sales page. It's pretty basic, but honestly, for your first course, for a mini course like this, you don't need something big and fancy. You just need the nuts and bolts. What are they going to get? Who's it for, etc., and a way for them to pay you. Okay, so we're going to do travel hacking sales page. Great. It's going to do its thing. All right, now we have our streamlined sales page. So the first thing I have to do on every sales page is we're going to get rid of the header. So we're going to make sure that on the desktop layout, we hide header. And then on the mobile layout, we also hide header. There we go. Because again, just kind of like our lead magnet, the only thing we want them to see is our product. We don't want them to click away and look at our about page and like all these other places. We don't want to distract them. We want them to see, this is our offer. Please buy it. This is what is available to you. All right. So, and you can do that same thing for the footer as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now. And so as you can see, we've got this full page completely built out. Now all you have to do is just go in and fill in the blanks, basically. So you've already outlined what are the four to five lessons that you're going to cover, a few benefits in each of those lessons like I described. And now what you should do is all you need to do is you need that headline, right? So how to travel with your family for free in the next 90 days or something like that. How to earn enough points to travel for free in the next 90 days. I don't know. So you would want to include your headline here. So all the tools you need to start this successful business. So I could change that to earn enough points to travel with your family for free in the next 90 days. That's a little long, but you get the point. So now I have my headline there. And then below that, I can have a little bit more of a detailed description of what's inside, a 4-week mini course on how to travel hack your way to free adventures around the world. Ta-da. All right. So there's my little thing. And so then the other thing you want to do is, since you've created all of this live video, you're super savvy with video now. So what I would want you to do now is just create a video where you just talk about the course. Say, just the same premise is like, do you want, with the videos you were doing for live, right? So same kind of premise. You want to start with your hook and your what the video is about. So like in this case, I'd be like, do you want to learn how to be able to travel with your family every single year for free by using travel hacking tactics and tricks and sneaky little things that I've learned over the last 10 years of traveling around the world as a business traveler or something like that. And so that's sort of your lead in, hook, and question, just like you have on the sales page. And you can say, I'm launching Travel Hacking 101, where I'm going to walk you through the 3 main ways that you can earn travel points, et cetera, et cetera. Then you walk them through all the videos that you're going to do, the benefits that they're going to have, the structure of the program, why you created this, who is it for, et cetera, et cetera. And just talk to the camera, just like you've been doing with your live videos previously. And honestly, I would do that first and then transcribe it, or just go listen back, and then you have the content for your sales page. But you want to create that video, and you can put it in here inside of Kajabi. So you'll be able to click on this, and then you can upload a new file, and then upload the video that you already created, and you would put it right in here. And so when someone hits this page, they're going to be able to watch a video with you right away. They're used to watching videos with you. So they're going to be like, oh, what's she got to say about this, right? And then down below the video, you'll have your call to action to go join and purchase your course. So here we can change this button now that we've created our product and we've created our offer. Now we can say, enroll in Travel Hacking 101. And now we can link to a checkout page. And that is going to be our, where is it? Travel Hacking mini course. Is that right? Did I get it right? Beta launch. There it is. Okay. So now we're good to go. You can obviously change the button color. So I said orange was going to be my color. And there it is. All right, so this is kind of a little preview what that's going to look like. Obviously, I'd have a video uploaded in here. And then in this section just below, you can basically, in typed format, share what you shared inside the video, right? So give a little teaser, what the course is going to be about, where you're going to teach them in here. In the next section, you could pull out some of those benefits that they could learn. So in this section, you could say, my 5 favorite credit cards to earn 1 million points fast, or something like that. The #1 loyalty program that nobody knows about, right? So these are kind of like benefits and features and teasing things that gets people excited about what could be inside. And then you have another call to action where you summarize, this is the course, blah, blah, blah. You link over to the checkout page, and then you could delete this, but you could add a little bit more about the course. Maybe it's who's this for, and you could describe like why you built this and who you built it for. And then you can have some frequently asked questions. So it could be like, when will the live trainings be happening? And you can say Tuesdays at 7 p.m., blah, blah, blah. And yes, you'll get access to all the recordings. And then, I don't know, they might ask other questions, you could think about what they would be and add them there, another call to action, and poof, your sales page is done. You could literally have this done in less than an hour if you just sat down and focused on creating the video, the content that you would speak about, and just making it quick and dirty. I also like to remove the footer as well, so you can remove that. All right, so that was easy. Now what you're going to do is you're going to actually launch your course. So now that you have the sales page completed, you have the product, and you have the offer created inside of Kajabi, now you just need to tell your audience about the course and put it up for sale. So you're going to do a 5-day email launch sequence, which you're also going to do inside of Kajabi. Of course, everything I'm about to describe, you're going to do in conjunction with sharing on social media each day, and if you want to, also going live again each day during the launch week to reiterate what you're going to say in each of these emails. But what I'm about to describe in the email launch, you just want to reiterate those things on different platforms using social media and live video. So you're going to use a 5-day email sequence, like I mentioned, and that means you're going to send 1 email every single day, and maybe on the last day you'll send 2. And for this, you're going to use email sequences inside of Kajabi. So once we have our sales page saved, we can then go back into our main dashboard, and we're going to go into the marketing area. Now, you'll remember that's where we also created our form originally when we were building out our opt-in. So we're going to marketing, and you're going to create new email campaign. And so you'll just create an email broadcast, which is a single one-time email, and you're going to do that for each of the emails in this sequence. So you'll come in here, email broadcast, continue. I like to just use the classic editor for these. It doesn't need to be fancy. It's going to be text. And then, so this would be day 1. For instance. So for each of the emails on each of the days of your launch, each email is going to have a theme. So the first 2 days, day 1 and day 2, you're going to focus on teaching. So I like to focus on in the first teaching day is to basically lead with the phrase, most people believe X, but Y is true. So that's sort of the theme of the email. So you want to share something that people believe around your course topic, right? It has to be related to the course topic. And you want to teach them something that is actually the truth. So for instance, you could say something like, most people believe that you have to have 17 different credit cards in order to travel hack successfully and actually travel for free. And you can then say, actually, that's not true. What you need to do is X, Y, and Z. And like cover 3 points in depth and actually teach them something inside of the email. Again, you're going to share that same kind of content on social and in a live video that day as well, but you really want to add lots of value in this first email. Then on the second day, Tuesday, you're going to teach even more. You're going to just give more value. Here's the thing. You want people thinking about your free content like, oh my God, this is amazing and free. Her paid stuff must be killer. It must be out of this world amazing. So you want to make sure that when you are teaching and adding value in the free space, that you really knock people's socks off. Okay. So in the second email, we are going to continue to teach. And I like to do this in the context of the 4 best ways to, or 3 best ways to, right? And so it's whatever kind of result they want to achieve, like with travel hacking, you could say the 3 best ways to achieve 100,000 points with a credit card loyalty program or something like that. You want to be specific, but you want to focus on 3 ways to X, okay? And it has to be around the outcome they want from your program. In the third email is when we're finally going to transition into talking about our course. So it's sort of a transition to the pitch. So we still want to teach a little bit, but we want to start adding a conundrum. I like to present a conundrum in this email, something that is kind of digging at the pain and the challenge and the frustrations that they might have around your topic. So it might be something like the hardest part about X is knowing what to do next, or something like that. So the hardest part about travel hacking is knowing which programs are the right choice for you and the type of travel you want to do, or something like that. You want to pinpoint a primary challenge people have around that topic, and then present your course as the solution to that primary challenge. Okay? Then on the fourth day, you are going to continue pitching your course. But on this email, you're going to really hone in on the benefits. We've already outlined some of them. So you want to feature the benefits in this particular email. So you could say, in this program, you're not only going to learn X, Y, and Z, but I'm also going to teach you A, B, and C. And that's maybe some of your super sneaky tactics and strategies for getting more loyalty points or something. All right. So you want to really focus on the benefits that really entice people to go, ooh, I got to know what that is. I really want to know her super secret hacks or whatever. And then in the last day, you're going to send another email, and it's going to be another pitch. And maybe in this email, you focus on results. So whether you've helped other people in the past get results, maybe somebody saw one of your live videos and said, hey, I followed your advice and I went and I got 1 million points in 2 seconds or something. You could feature that as a result in this email. Or if you haven't done that yet for other people, that's fine. You can just talk about your own results and say, hey, over the last 10 years, I've been a business traveler and I've been able to earn over 500,000 points by utilizing the strategies I teach in this program, and I want to share everything I know with you, right? Really focus on you helping them get results that you have achieved or that you've helped other people achieve. Now, a bonus, you can also on this last day send another email later in the evening, sort of telling people this is your last chance to enroll and that you're actually closing enrollment at the end of the day. You also want to mention that throughout all of your pitch emails and say, hey, enrollment's only open until Friday at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard. And so people know like this is their one chance to get in. Otherwise, people like to procrastinate. They put things off. If you don't give them a deadline, they won't take action. So you just want people to make a choice with this process. Now, the thing to keep in mind with this particular launch, yes, you're doing a lot of work and this is a lot of buzz and you're putting a lot of energy into it. But our goal, remember, isn't just to get, thousands of people in the door and have this huge launch. Huge launches are for people with massive audiences. And if you're watching this video series, you likely don't have a massive audience. Our goal is to get just a few butts in seats. So whether you get 3 people to join or you get 30 people to join, our goal is to just truly validate the product idea before you ever create anything. Or again, it comes back to that paid to create foundation. And so we want to know, actually, will people pay you for this product? So if you get 3 people to buy, you know that you have a decent product, okay? If nobody's buying and you're just hearing crickets, then maybe we need to regroup and maybe we need to reposition and maybe you need to ask some different questions about what people really want out of a course from you on that topic, or maybe just a new topic. All right. So again, don't focus so much on hundreds of people joining or a dozen people joining. If you just get a handful of people to join, then you have validated your course idea, and then we can go into the next stage of the process. So after you've launched your program, you've got a few people in the door, you've made some money online. Now what we want to do is we want to basically chill out. We're not going to be talking about it anymore openly. And you're just going to email your students the following Monday. Or you can also set this up into Kajabi so it automatically emails them once they purchase the offer. But you're going to email them and you're going to, 1, welcome them to the program, tell them thank you for joining and that you're so excited to work with them. You're also going to explain the logistics. So even though the logistics were described in that one lesson that's inside the product that they are a member of now, you're also going to reiterate that in this email. So you can say, hey, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, we're going to go live, etc. Here's the Zoom link, or I'll send the Zoom link later, whatever. You can also prompt people to ask questions in the comments below the video, things like that. And then you also want to ask people, hey, before we get started, email me back and let me know what's one thing that you have to get out of the next 4 to 5 weeks to feel like this was a big win. So maybe they're like, I just really want to know, I want to have my 3 go-to credit cards that I always use that's going to get me the most bang for my buck. Or I want a system to track all of this, right? So then you can make sure that you really dive into those topics because that's really what they want to learn. So they're kind of helping you make sure that you give them the best experience possible, and it's giving you ideas on how to put the program together beyond what you've initially outlined. Then after you've emailed the students, you want to start creating the actual content for the program. So I like to create this as I go each week, because then each week students are giving me feedback, asking questions that I can clarify and make sure that I'm covering the right things in the following weeks and the following trainings. But you want to then create some basic standard slides. I like to use Google Slides or Canva templates for this. And basically, I just create a quick and dirty outline. Like, what would I want to say? Drill it down. I'm only going to be teaching for 45 minutes. I like to add some screenshots of things if it helps illustrate a point, maybe add some quotes or some statistics that might be valuable to understanding a topic, and then just organizing it in a flow that really makes sense, and then converting that outline into slides, and free ones using Canva or Google Slides. So then each week you're going to go live in a Zoom. We all know what Zoom is now. So you're going to go live inside of Zoom, and you're going to teach hard teaching for 45 minutes. Welcome everybody, and then just get into the teaching. Tell them you're going to go in a deep dive Q&A at the end. If nobody showed up live or they just don't have questions at the end, that's totally fine. But what you want to do is ask, okay, next week we're going to cover this topic. What is one or two things that you, or questions you have around that topic, or what you absolutely have to learn around that topic to feel like the next video is going to be super valuable for you. And that's going to help you give more ideas on making sure that you're covering every single thing and every minute kind of question that they might have around that topic. And then you're just going to rinse and repeat that over and over and over again until you finally finished the program. Now, the last thing that I recommend that you do in this process is, at the end of the whole experience, what I want you to do is ask them, what is another topic or another thing that they would like to learn from you, that you could do a bonus training on. So you can either email this out to your students, ask them during the last workshop, whatever you decide to do, ask them what's one more thing that you could teach them, and tell them you'll consider making a bonus training around that topic. And so if you get some good feedback and somebody gives you something that you're like, oh, that could be really great and a nice addition to this program, or just a nice thank you for them, you want to over deliver with an additional training at the end that helps them get additional results, hopefully related to travel hacking in this case, but maybe it's on a different topic altogether. So now you have your course built, you have your sales page, you have your product, you have your offer, you have some students who've gone through the program. Hopefully you've gotten some great feedback from them that you can screen grab and show some results and how they're really enjoying the program. And you've uploaded all those video recordings into Kajabi. Now we want to start making this a perennial bestseller, an evergreen product that's going to sell on repeat, day after day, week after week, month after month, in perpetuity, and so that you can make some reliable passive income into the future and actually bring in that $10,000. So we're going to be covering that in the next and last video in the 10K Kajabi Kickstart Challenge. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in our final training in this series. See you in the next one. Cheers.